Hey everybody, number 77 in the Criterion collection, And God Created Woman, directed by Roger Vadim from France from 1956. Believe it or not, the year really matters here because director Roger Vadim also did a movie in 1988 in America called And God Created Woman, which is completely unrelated in every possible way to this film by the same director of the same name. That's not strange at all. Um, so, we have heard me talk multiple times about how I prefer a narrative focus over a character focus. I like good characters, but I need the story to drive me forward. That's really what I need. And I think this one does it best of what I've seen so far because this is a character-focused movie. This movie is about Brigitte Bardot's character of Juliet, and I'll get into the plot in just a minute. But while it is largely just about her as a person, there is very strong story beats to move the story forward, which is honestly all I need to stay happy. So this is a movie set in Saint-Tropez, France. Brigitte Bardot is an 18-year-old girl who was in an orphanage, but she was fostered out and is a bit of a wild child. She's actually a fairly complex character. You could write an entire essay just on trying to dissect her character in this, and I'm struggling to figure out how to do it briefly for you. She is shown to be somewhat of a sex kitten. She is very aware of her sensuality and the effect she has on men. The problem with that is it means that men want to take advantage of her but don't want to commit to her. And she wants to be committed too, but she finds it hard to control her impulses. So sometimes she will let herself get taken advantage of knowingly, other times she won't. That frustrates men. There is an older man in town. It seems it's not very clear whether or not they've had sex previous to the film. They definitely don't during the course of the film. He also seems to waver between wanting to be a father figure or a lover or both to her. When her foster family gets fed up with her wild ways, they set up in motion to send her back to the orphanage where she will stay until she's 21. And the orphanage agrees after hearing all the rumors around town. So there's only two ways to get out of this. She needs to have a doctor certify that she's a virgin so the rumors are untrue, or she needs to get married. Otherwise, she's going back to the orphanage. The old guy doesn't want her back to the orphanage. He wants her around, presumably so he can have her at a future time, seems to be the impression. But he doesn't want to marry her. Nobody wants to marry her, except for a young, naive man who is happy to marry her, and she is glad of it. She likes him, and she does her very best to be a good wife and to love him, and to give him everything he could want. The problem is his older brother wants her. And so there's a lot of tension there. And she is fighting her impulses because she always had a thing for the older brother, even before the marriage. And that's kind of enough of the story, because I don't want to spoil everything. And that's honestly pretty early on establishing these beats. There's other bits. There's some real estate drama and business drama between the old guy and the brothers and so on. So there's definitely a story going on as we're spending time getting to know what is really a complex character in Brigitte Bardot. Because she wants more, but she can't always seem to get out of her own way. I think it's a very good movie. I enjoy it. It is a French film. There's not really an ending. There's a resolution of the current events, but it doesn't feel like an actual end of the story, right? We don't know if characters are going to live happily ever after or not. We just know they're going to continue to live, and whatever happens, happens. Which is a little unsatisfactory, but it is what I expect from the French. So, would you watch this movie? Well, let me say this, first of all. because I've been talking a lot about Sex Kitten and men taking advantage of her. There is no full on nudity in this movie. There are hints and silhouettes. There are some excellent cinematography shots. I think there's a great one when the newlyweds are in bed for the first time. He's got a big sailboat, model sailboat, in his room, and it's very much in the foreground. And so the sail covers up a good chunk of the screen from where the camera is set up, and the chunk it covers up happens to be where you would see the nudity as she gets out of bed and as he gets out of bed. At first you see the scene and you're like, wow, that sail is obnoxious. It is blocking a decent amount of the screen. But then as characters get up, you're like, oh, that's why that's there. There are some mirror shots that are good. The cinematography in this is very good. But if you're looking for actual full-on nudity, guess again, buddy. That's not what this movie is. However, they do an excellent job of making us very aware of her sensuality without nudity. It's kind of impressive. So, should you watch this movie? Well, if the plot I've described or the characters I've described seem to your taste, then yeah, go for it. It's only 90 minutes long, which honestly, it feels a really good pace. It doesn't overstay its welcome. So, like, artsier films can tend to drag on longer as we spend more time with the characters. But this one moves at a good pace. It doesn't outstay its welcome. You don't have to take a nap in the middle because it's a foreign film. I do recommend it. I liked it a lot. So that's what we've got. The next up is number 78, The Bank Dick, by director Edward Klein from the United States from 1940, back when Dick was a pretty common way to say private investigator or policeman. So I don't think this is going to be a guy in a bank swinging his member around. I would expect it to be some kind of bank inspector. I don't know. I don't know anything about this. I'm excited to find out. And you can find out with me when I see you next time. As always, thank you for being here.